You said you meant it well. You're singing words that I do not understand. I'm hopeful to forgive, and I'll learn to forget. I can let you hang around in my mind for a while. If what we had is gone for us, we'll toast to us. Here's to real friends. There's hope for us. We'll toast to us. Here's to real friends. And you're singing words that I do not understand. I'm hopeful to forgive, and I'll learn to forget. I can let you hang around in my mind for a while. If what we had wasn't just fake friends.
Oh, yeah, folks. Oh, it was deliciousness in a bottle, in a can, in a container, biodegradable, I hope, and recyclable if not. That was a beautiful, beautiful song called Fake Friends, which is, well, it's not fake at all. It's definitely a genuine song, genuinely beautiful song by a genuinely beautiful artist. I was about to mispronounce it. I've
Romanie.
forgotten how to pronounce it. Brains Trust, can we hear the correct pronunciation again?
Romanie.
Thank you. I won't forget for the rest of the interview. That was Fake Friends by Romanie, a Melbourne artist. You know what? It's the first time we've had I was going to say, yeah. Actually, no, it was a few weeks ago we interviewed the last Melbourne artist, but that they keep coming from other parts of the world to reside in Melbourne, and that's okay because fuck Sydney. Romanie is here with me in the studio. Not in the studio. Why did I say in the studio? She's not with me in the studio. Well, she is technically, her voice is, and we're going to have a lovely chat now about how good the EP was. I had no idea where that intro was going, but we better give Romanie a big bar talk welcome. Romanie, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. And hello.
That was LOL XD Random 2014. Firstly, how are you going? You sound like you're in a beautiful, sunny outdoor location right now.
I am sitting down in Edinburgh Gardens, enjoying some sunshine during lockdown. But yeah, I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. And every Scottish person is very upset that you're not in Edinburgh right now, because we've taken you. We've got a hold of you, but that's okay because I'm
not
really,
leaving anytime soon.
We hope, but that's okay because we love how people like you are adding to this beautiful city's music scene with such a gorgeous EP, which is called Little Big Steps, and Fake Friends, which we just played, folks. It was one of the previous singles off said EP. Romanie, how cool is it to have your EP out?
Oh, very cool. It was a long time coming. Yeah, I think I've worked on it for 2 years. Always been putting off releases and planning. So yeah, I'm very grateful and happy that it's finally out there.
Yeah. Is it more of a relief or is it just joy? Like what emotion did you feel on release day?
I was nervous, but I guess more excitement. Just for people to hear my new sound, because it's quite different from my first EP, which was just stripped back. This was the first time working with a producer and growing into a new vibe, I guess, and into a new person. It
is so much about the vibe. It is really, it's a vibe. It's vibe life. # yeah. I don't know why I said that, but I mean, it is a great EP. What I really appreciate about it is there's a bit of variation between the songs, but also I loved specifically some of your chord progressions, how in the hooks and that you'd go for something a bit, in some of the songs you'd go for something a bit interesting in terms of changing up your chord progressions, which I love, especially in some of the songs, which you might talk about a bit later.
Yeah.
But tell us a bit about it. Let's go back. Let's turn the clock back like a couple of years, and let's talk about you. Talk about your life and how the hell did you get around to making this EP? Because 2 years is a long time, especially especially with everything that's gone on.
Feels like 84 years.
Yeah.
No, I moved to Melbourne in October 2019 following my partner who had a job here. And it was a bit of a jump in the deep end, coming into a new city, which was Melbourne. And I was quite overwhelmed. I was trying to be a musician in Belgium for the first year in my life. I had always been singing and just started to write songs. And it was doing all right in Belgium. And then coming here, I was so overwhelmed with so much talent. And I did a bit of busking, stopped quite early because I was like, oh, I'm not good enough. And then I started writing songs about how overwhelmed I was and about moving to the other side of the world and trying to find my feet. And I started practicing a lot more. And I guess, that's where this EP came from. And I'm very happy that it's out there now. Yeah.
I was going to say, the move itself would be enough to
freak out.
Exactly. But I mean, and I'm guessing it wasn't something you would have chosen to do if your partner hadn't taken the job.
I'm not sure. I've always been quite not adventurous, but I've lived in Spain for a while, and so I've always had the travel bug. So I'm quite happy that we settled down in Melbourne and made it a sort of a new home for us. I really feel at home here, and the music community is so welcoming and inspiring. So definitely chose the good city.
So you make it sound like Belgium's like 3 countries away from Spain or 2 countries away from Spain.
Yeah.
But it's like just traveling from Melbourne to Sydney. I mean, I know
it
traveling
is.
from Melbourne to Sydney right now is like a pretty much a no-no.
A big no-no.
Yeah. But it's like, you got to remember, Europe's a totally different beast.
Yeah, well, it's a different culture, different language. And so that was also a big culture shock. I studied Spanish, so back then it was the right decision, but my partner doesn't speak Spanish. So we were like, oh, well, we might as well move to Australia. We both speak English. Well, a little bit. We've definitely learned more English living here.
You learned our English.
Yeah.
It's a totally different beast. They won't teach you that in schools. They won't at all.
Definitely not. We weren't prepared for this. But it's been really nice. And although we've spent so much time in lockdown, I feel like I've met so many amazing musicians and people that inspire me just online as well. I'm very grateful.
What was it specifically about Melbourne that really kick-started you wanting to release the EP? Because you were saying before you've always been into music, but you ended up leaving Spain. You did a bit in Belgium, but not a lot, you said. But Melbourne was where you decided to do your EP. What was it about Melbourne specifically that you really thought this is the place to do it?
Oh, well, I had just put out my first EP in Belgium right before I left. So I sort of started getting into, I might want to be I've always wanted to be a musician, but you're never sure, or things are holding you back. And then coming here to the capital live music city of the world, I was like, I've got 2 years on my visa. Might as well just try in those 2 years to give my 100% for music. And haven't regretted.
Was it just when you arrived, did you know anyone that was here, or were you literally just going blind for a while?
Oh, I had the week before we came here, it was quite sudden that we got our visa approved. So we left Belgium, packed up our house and put everything into a garage, thinking that it was just going to be for 2 years. But now we've got our visa, probably getting approved for another few years, and then we'll see. But I was doing I remember being on the plane and I was like, Googling live music in Melbourne, and I had booked a show like before I came here, but then the venue closed down the day we got here, so I didn't have a good plan. But like I was keen to do open mics, so I had my little Excel sheet of venues that did open mics, and then I went there, met a few musicians from there, met other artists that wanted to put up a gig with me. So yeah, the things started rolling from there. And I believe that if you just, it's not, I'm not a big believer of networking, but it's sort of necessary. So just making friends, I guess. So that's what I was planning on doing. And yeah, I've met so many good friends that I really like value so much.
So, see, nobody that's been around for a while does an Excel spreadsheet of different places to play. That's the true sign of somebody that's new. You're like, you're fresh faced. You're like, I have no idea what's going on. I've got to make sure I properly index this.
Yeah, and I've actually had tabs like too big, or maybe for a different stage in life. Like the forum was in there. I was like, oh, maybe one day.
So you were rocking up to these venues and you're just you're making notes as you go by the sounds of it.
Yeah.
You got your pen and pad or whatever, or you got your phone out just on memos.
Yeah.
And you're just going and you're typing up like what notes to go, this venue, it's got the wrong vibe. It's too smelly.
Oh, I was actually like eating out every day and just going to venues that I wanted to play at. I've actually, like, a really funny thing. The first booker that I emailed, she was one of my suggested friends the other week on Facebook. And we've actually now had like 48 friends in common. But she was the first person that I contacted. And it was so funny to reconnect. And she's like, do I know you? And I was like, yeah, you were actually the first person that I contacted when I was in Melbourne. So yeah, it's so like, it was so overwhelming in the beginning getting here, but it's actually such a small community, and it's so nice to know so many people. And in such a big city, it feels so comforting to go somewhere and know that you're going to see people that you know.
When you said about networking before, you said it's not something I normally do, but I'm paraphrasing here, but I kind of have to. So it's not something I would like to do, but I do it because I have to. I'm just kind of curious what you mean by that.
Yeah, it's such a, like, it feels so forced, like those networking events, but I don't want to bash on networking events because it is so important, and like connections is key in the music industry, I believe. But I'm not, if it's forced, I wouldn't go to it because I'm very awkward. Definitely the pandemic has not helped with that at parties. Oh
yeah, there's nothing genuine about a Zoom call. It's, I just happened to be snooping around this part of the interwebs. And I just found the Zoom link randomly on some website. Mind if I join?
But it's, I feel like everyone now is in the same boat. So it's made it feel more genuine, and everyone's just like lost touch with the world. So everyone's just keen on meeting people. So that's the good thing. And I feel like that's really important. That's, I guess, what I meant with that.
But can there be a difference though between that sort of forced networking that you go, right, I'm going to meet people today, I'm going to specifically make connections, as opposed to just having a chat and making a friend along the way? Do you find that there can be a difference?
Yeah.
And does it result in a different outcome at all?
I guess the intention is just different. Like, I'm just here to make friends and not necessarily like, I don't know. It's an interesting thing. I never go out like to a bar and think like, oh, I'm going to add 50 more people to my Facebook list that I can hit up with a new release. I'm getting to a bar because I'm like, I'm here in Melbourne and I don't know too many people. So I want to meet new friends where I can have a drink with. And like that, I guess.
It's all about having fun at the end of the day.
Yeah, I actually we had a band rehearsal, and I was like, oh, we're having so much fun. And they made so much fun of me after saying that. I felt like that SpongeBob episode where I was like having those letters and just bumping around. Anyway, that's my brain being a bit goofy.
Let's talk about the making of the actual record. Because you were saying this is the first time you've done a proper studio recording and release. Let me know a bit about that, because what was it like for you going into the studio for the first time and actually doing things quote unquote properly?
Yeah.
As opposed to, I'm assuming, was a bit more DIY in the past when you were back in Belgium.
Yeah. I had been looking for a studio or a right fit producer for such a long time because I wrote these songs when I first got to Melbourne and I couldn't find the right, like, I was really wanting to make it special. I was ready to invest some money in it. But then, miraculously, I found a job at Small Time in Brunswick as a marketing coordinator. And it happens to be a music studio. My colleague happened to be James Seymour. And we got along and I was like, I write some songs. And I showed him all my songs and he was like, I actually like what you're making. So maybe we should, release a song. And I was like, I've actually got all these songs that I wanted to put together. And from that, we decided that we were going to do an EP. And I think it's turned out well. I'm very proud of this body of work.
Hold on. Am I hearing correctly? Did you actually network properly, Romani?
Sorry?
Sorry, I mispronounced your name again. I lied. I said I wasn't going to mispronounce your name. Romani.
Romani.
Am I hearing correctly? Did you do a little bit of networking to get this EP together?
Sorry, I cannot hear you. Oh, there's a dog here in this park as well.
So it's the park. The park's going crazy. You're having a party over there.
The park is going crazy. It's getting off here.
Romani, it sounds like you did, as I was saying, a bit of networking to get this EP
a bit of networking. Together. Yeah, I did. Did a cheeky, hey, I'm an artist drop.
So it is important. We wouldn't be here today if it weren't for this quote
that
unquote
is true. But then
laborious chore called networking.
Yeah, I guess I was just I got this new job and they were asking about my life. And might have dropped it. Yeah, I did a little bit of networking.
Okay.
No, but James is actually a friend of mine now, so it's all good.
Oh, okay, yeah. So you got something out of it. He got something out of it. It's all good. Happy families.
Happy family. Yeah, Small Time is amazing. I really enjoy it. I'm still working there as well. So, yeah.
When you went into it though, so James, your producer.
Yeah.
What was it like then going into the studio once you've done all the hard yards, the networking, the yada yada, whatever? You get into the studio and you're like, wow, there's like way more different types of microphones than I ever thought there'd ever be in the world. Is there like what's going through your mind as you get set up with your 14 mics and you?
Well,
he's like, shh, don't click your fingers. Shh, it's gonna ruin the sound, and you're like, oh, it's gonna be so sterile, it's so boring. What's it like? I'm probably like I'm back. I'm sidetracking here, but what's it like going into the studio essentially?
It actually was like a whole new world opening for me because I had never considered using synth on my sound.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm a very big fan of keeping everything like with natural sounds and
she's a folk purist, people. Duck for cover. Hide Yamahas.
No, just like I wouldn't put electronic sounds, but then there are synth sounds that sound very natural, and once I've learned that, I started writing more songs for band sound as well, and that's how I got my band together. And now I feel like I'm writing more for a full band sound, so that's like it's changing me a little bit, which is amazing because I feel like all those experiences lead up to something new, and I'm very happy with my journey, if you want to call it that.
All right, well, the band. Let's talk about the band. So they've played on the record, have they?
No, the record is just me and James, and then from that record, I scouted my bass player plays in James's band, so did a sneaky steal. I did my networking.
Awfully convenient, Romani. I'm shocked and chagrined. That's I mean, look, if you still bass players.
Well, it's not stealing. He's still in fields as well.
But so the record is just you and James.
Yes.
Okay. So at what point are you going? So who's the one egging? So is James here egging you on, going, "Oh, I reckon this synth sound would just fit nicely, or let's put a little bit of percussion in here. Like, let's do a little bit of this. Was he very encouraging of you to try and break new break down boundaries in terms of what you thought your music could be?
I was very much like, we were always together in the studio, and then like I was like, I want to hear, like, because I've had this, like, I always have these crazy ideas with like Stranger in My Skin. I wanted to have like a heartbeat sound in there because it's about like being depressed and being like angry. And James is like, what if we do this? And then like he jumps into the drum room and he plays something, and I was like, yeah, I want this, but want it to sound like, I have this thing in my mind, but I cannot get it out. And then James is perfect because he understood what I wanted, and it was a beautiful collaboration.
So it sounds like he was really trying to push you in terms of trying to make the music itself reflect the emotions in the record. Yeah.
But that's what I really wanted as well, as in terms of the feel. I want it to be a bit more full, and it had to reflect a growth, and I think it did. I hope it did.
I was going to say, because that's pretty interesting, because it takes a certain level of skill to just really know what can match and complement certain themes and emotions in a record. And I think that's a great skill a producer needs to have if they want to make sure they collaborate on really good work. So
Definitely.
It's really cool to hear that there was a bit of that going on.
Yeah.
Was it pretty easy to choose him as the producer, or did you have a lot of choice, or was it hard? Was it sort of a hard pick to make? Like, what was your thought process that you had before you decided to go with him for the producer's role?
I've had a few demos with other producers, and it was nice. And then, but Small Time made sense because I was there all the time working, and we could just zonk into a studio. It felt really natural to make that decision. Yeah,
so the studio is basically where you work.
Yeah, I basically live there.
Awfully convenient, folks. So, such a terrible shame that you'd have such a good resource sitting right in front of you, and you're just sitting there, and you're like, I want to do an EP here. That's cool. That's actually very good use of space, I must say.
Yes.
So then, once you've done it, and you're sitting on, how long have you been sitting on these songs before they were released, by the way, if you don't mind me asking?
We finished in February. No, I released in February 2021. I think I went into the studio after the long lockdown. To be honest, it's all such a blur the last 2 years. I don't know what I did, when I did what. But it's been a long time coming. And I'm very glad because we recorded I'm Anything But Myself Around You first, and I really wanted to release it because I had written it such a long time ago. But James was like, just let it sit for a bit, think about how you want to release it. So I'm really grateful for that advice, because I would have just put it out. I'm very impatient, if you have noticed already. It must have been almost a year ago.
Well, what do you consider the hardest part of a song release cycle? Is it the recording? Is it the waiting on it to be released? Is it the actual writing stage? What do you consider the most laborious part of that cycle?
I reckon the release itself. So it's so daunting because you put yourself out there, and then I write very personal. It's like we said before, it's just me, and I'm always going to write about things that I've experienced in life because I feel that's the most authentic. And after releasing Fake Friends, for example, I've had a few people checking in like, I'm not a fake friend, am I? I was like, no, it's not. I hadn't written that song about a specific person. It was just because I missed my friends. So I'm not always going to write literal, and that's the key of songwriting, I think. It's very vulnerable, and I'm always scared on release day. Yesterday I had a bit of a mental breakdown when I released the EP, but people have been sending me nice messages.
Just a little one. So it's not, so like when we say little, and I don't mean to step on any sort of mental health issues. Obviously, mental health very important. 13, 11, 14 for Lifeline. But putting that aside and to say something jokingly, like what scale of mental breakdown are we talking here? Like crying on the couch eating Doritos all afternoon?
Yeah. I had a little tear.
Crying over the piano.
Yeah, I've got a synth, but not a piano, unfortunately.
Wait, so you've been fully converted. You've gone for the, look at me.
Yeah.
No synth. Nothing that was invented past 1920 on my record.
The synth life has chosen me now.
It's like an addiction. You got the secret room. It's all under lock and key. You walk up to you go into your house and Romany, what's that big like safe locked room you got there? It's like it's nothing. It's nothing. It's an invisible room. It's just a wall. It's a fake door. But really, you walk into it and it's just piles and piles of synthesizers.
Yeah, I actually told my band once, if we're ever famous, I'll buy you all gold teeth. And my keys player was like, I'll convert those gold teeth for synths, please, thank you. So I had to laugh at that.
A gold key, did you say?
I wanted to give everyone gold teeth. I thought that was a reflection of wealth.
Oh, gold teeth. So like in your mouth. Is this a Belgian thing? Like is this I don't know, is there some cultural like did people give you blank looks when you said this because you're like this joke's really funny back in whereabouts in Belgium are you from? Because I want to get the city right.
I'm from a very small town, which is called Pittem.
I'm from back in very small town in Belgium. Gold teeth is a sign of wealth.
Not really, actually. I don't know anyone with gold teeth. I guess it was just me wanting gold teeth.
I don't think they've used gold for I don't know. I might be wrong. I know nothing about dentistry, but when I think of like gold fillings used in teeth, like I don't think that method's been used for quite a few decades.
Yeah, I don't know. Might be. I'll make it hip.
Yeah,
one day.
Hip. Well, that's the thing that rappers do, don't they? They plate their teeth gold or they get the gold fillings. Yeah. So are you telling me, is this a very subtle way, Romany, of telling me that your next musical phase is going to be gangster rap?
Well, I'm not excluding anything. I'm open to, I just want to co-write more and work with other people. So who knows if a really good rap track comes my way, might write a top line for it. Who knows?
You know what? I was expecting a joke, but then you've answered me so seriously. I have to say that's really cool. I like how you're open to these different styles because I don't know what when you say like a rap song, because you said it's got to be the right rap song. That's fair enough because it's a very broad genre. Are we talking like full on trap? Are we talking like glamour rap? Full Jay-Z. Maybe something with a bit of trumpets in it because trumpets always go well with rap. Let's face it.
I like a trumpet. I actually played the saxophone when I was little, so
And there's no saxophone on the EP. Romany, what were you doing? You're wasting your time, I reckon. I wanted the sax
It's in my garage in Belgium, so
Get it mailed. Get it mailed. I don't care if it costs more than the thing is worth.
I might take you up on that.
Not that I want to pressure you at all. But I mean, like now you've got the thing out. So you've got the hardest. You've reached the hardest hurdle, or you've jumped the hardest hurdle, to use my metaphors correctly. You've waited. You've made the release now.
Mm-hmm.
And you're supposed to. You were telling me before we were starting to about how you were hopefully going to have a record launch at some point. Tell us a bit about that and what you hope. What's the perfect gig for you in terms of if a gig's going to go perfectly, what's got to happen?
Well, we were supposed to play at Penny's, which is the old Penny Black, with my band, and a friend was supporting. I was going to have my vinyls, which are delayed because of COVID. So might do it when the vinyls arrive. I
tell you, what a venue to pick and then get cancelled because the place closed down. Because Penny Black's I think it's going to be called something else now. I think they're reopening, but
they are reopened. So we were supposed to play last Friday. Yesterday. Right. Yeah.
So yesterday as of recording. So last Friday for those of you as of release. That's really cool. So you still were able to keep the venue.
Yeah.
And that stage, have you ever been or played on that stage before?
No, not yet.
Oh,
it it was supposed to be really cool because we were playing at 12 a.m. So it was going to be a dive bar vibe.
How so lucky. I mean, I was going to say like it got cancelled and everything. Not so lucky, but when it does happen,
Yeah, I'll expect you to be there.
oh God, she's set it on record. Oh no, you've put me under pressure now.
Sorry. Not meant to.
Oh, gig at Penny Black. Oh, such a chore to get there. Oh, it's not as if there's like two trams. It's like, oh, well, how am I going to get there? It's so close to the tram station. But no, it does sound really good that you've got a show there because the stage is awesome and the sound is epic.
Amazing. I'm very much looking forward to playing again. We'll see what happens. I'm very keen to play these songs live. We've been rehearsing with the band. So yeah, we're ready to take it up on stage.
Are you one of those artists that likes to keep things pretty orthodox in terms of how close it sounds to the record? Or are you willing to be a bit experimental when things get on stage?
My bandmates are really, really good. They nailed, like, it's sounding like the record, but I've, of course, showed them my other songs, and we've been, playing some new songs live, and I'm very happy with how it's sounding because it's exactly how I had it in my mind, and I'm very lucky with my band members. That's
cool. So, it sounds like it's going to be a bit of fun. You're going to have a bit of old stuff, bit of new stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you found that you've had to maybe change the structure of the songs a bit when you've brought them to the band compared to when you were writing them?
I think all my new stuff I'm writing for the band, so it's definitely more handy when I write knowing that I have my band as a backup. But I do have some songs that just like some just come naturally, and it is very singer-songwriter. So yes, some songs need a bit of a workshop, but yeah.
So is it a case of then you've got to pick and choose, and your set list will change depending on whether you're playing solo or with the band?
Yeah.
And have you played many gigs with them yet so far, or has COVID really fucked up your opportunities there?
No, we had my single launch at the Abbotsford Convent a couple of weeks ago, I think. Yeah, weeks.
As we were discussing before, played with a very good friend of ours, Megan Kennedy, who is awesome.
Yeah, she sang on Fake Friends, actually.
She actually sang on the record?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So she's not a fake, so she is the fake friend.
She's a good friend because it's in the breaks.
You're not going to say that on air, are you? That's okay. We'll have to. I can't remember what kind of. Actually, I was about to say what kind of beer she likes. I think she likes any beer, so we can lob shit on her now, and then just like she probably. I don't know if she'll listen to this episode. I hope she does, Megan. If you are listening, give me a shout out.
Love you, Megan.
Let both of us know. But if she does, we'll find out because we'll say to her, look, if we lob shit at her now, we can buy Megan a beer next time we see her. Because I know she drinks beer.
I will buy Megan a beer regardless. She's into craft beer. So
that's right. I was like, she's into anything. But then I remember every bar that she frequents is craft beer only. And I'm thinking of, and I'm sure you're aware of this, the Thornbury Local.
Yes, I played a show with her there a couple of months ago.
Which is, how are you getting all the good places? Like Abbotsford Convent is just a gorgeous setting.
Yeah, I set up the event myself actually because it was my single launch. So I wanted to do a gig with my friends that sang on the record and organize everything myself. So it's not that hard to get the venue if you arrange it.
What building was it in at the convent? Because it's quite a big.
Yeah, we were in the oratory, the very nice glass stained window room. You've
got to have some good pictures. Tell me somebody took some good pictures for you. Because
it was really nice, yes.
Because that would have been a beautiful place, and I imagine the acoustics would have been lovely. All those old buildings usually are. We had to split up the show because we sold out the first event, so we did an early session and a late one. So to see the room get darker and then the lightings turn up, it was really beautiful. I'm very happy that it could go ahead. That's awesome. Honestly, that's really cool. Because it's such a beautiful, and what I really like is it's just beautiful gardens, and you've got these. For those of you that aren't from Melbourne or have never been there, it's got these cafes and restaurants. You've got the. And I'll give them a shout out because they do such a great job. Lentil as Anything is there as well.
Yes, they have amazing curry puffs.
All their food's great. But yeah, all the cafes and just the gardens. The gardens are so beautiful, and they're just great for having a walk around in. And there's the Collingwood farm as well, with the kids farm where they got the animals.
Yeah,
as well. But I was sidetracked. I was going to say it's such a great place. But if anybody's from Melbourne, go and check it out when you can. It's such a beautiful hidden gem. I don't think it gets enough attention, I feel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, it does. Like, you go there on the weekend out of lockdown and it's pretty packed. So, not going to lie, maybe it does get enough attention, Romani. Maybe we're spruiking it too much.
I don't know if the average food convent.
But, I mean, you must love... I mean, it sounds like you really love our parks because you're out in the park right now.
I am in a park. It's actually going to start raining soon, I think.
Uh-oh. Don't tell me your partner didn't bring an umbrella.
He didn't. We're from Belgium, so we're used to rain, but it's not as sudden as in Melbourne.
So
you do get the 4 seasons in one day here.
So you've been here 2 years and you haven't learnt if there's any possible chance of rain. And I'm looking outside. What are you talking about? I mean, I know you're on the other side of the city from me, but I can't see any grain clouds whatsoever. I think you're pulling a fib.
I don't think so.
No, actually, I just actually look west, and yes, it is starting to get cloudy. Okay, are you looking at the clouds right now? And this is starting.
Yes.
Right. Okay. You could, we'll, if you want to walk and talk, that's fine with me. But yes,
that's fine.
You playing at these beautiful venues. That's really cool. Got a great band by the sounds of it. Not by the sounds of it. Actually, that even makes sense. No, yes, definitely by the sounds of it, you have a great band because I'm sure they sound amazing.
Yeah, they do. I'm very grateful.
So, did you say you did have a date at the moment that's, fingers crossed, going to go ahead for the album launch?
It's not. I still haven't heard back from the booker, but
right.
it's going to be somewhere in September probably.
Okay. So
I'm hoping that my solo gigs that got cancelled will get postponed as well, but we'll see.
Yeah. So fingers crossed. I mean, this is where your socials come into it. You've got to follow the Romani socials to make sure you don't miss a single iota of updates. Because I'm sure there's going to be plenty.
I do have a website and I'm on most of the common social media things. Recently installed TikTok, which I regret a bit, but we'll see where it goes.
Have you posted anything yet, or?
I've posted the things that I put on Instagram, but I don't think it is the same content. We'll see. I might give it a whirl a little bit later.
But let's talk about, because we are going to play before you get all rained on. One of the other singles off the record really soon.
Yeah,
which is called "Stranger in My Skin," which we'll both sort of meant speaking about before. That was one of both of our favourite songs off the record, which I think is cool. Tell us a bit about it, because you were sort of talking about it before about how it's a bit about depression and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But let's talk specifics, like what, I mean, you don't have to specifically say anything, it's up to you. But yeah, give us a bit more of the inside Romani scoop on what this song's about.
Yeah, I wrote this song during the long lockdown in Melbourne last year, and I was in a very, very bad headspace. And I think I was just feeling really angry for feeling angry. And because I was at that point in lockdown where I was like, I miss my family and my life is so bad. But then I was like, I have a job. I'm at home, yes, but I'm healthy, and just that upset feeling. So I think that was the moment where I was like, I'll just write it off. And I wrote this song in 20 minutes, and I was like, this actually feels really good, just writing it off. And I started busking that song after lockdown. I was busking and people hopped off the tram and to stop and listen, and they were like, this song is so relatable, and I feel really this like the same about how you feel. And that was my click to put that song on the EP, because I hope people can relate to it and know that things will be all right as well. If you're in a dark place, like it's not always going to be like that. And I hope that can translate a little bit.
So you really did have people that were just, just randoms going up to you and say, this song really hits me where it feels.
Yeah, and I think that's every songwriter's goal, to really connect with people. And I was really happy that happened on the street. So I hope it can happen online or during live shows when that's ever a thing again.
See, this is you got to be careful about these people, Romanie, because you're not sure whether they're real or whether they actually plant. Somebody's gone and is gone up to some randoms and go, hey, I'll give you $20 if you go to that. If you go to my girlfriend over there, or you go to my friend or my work colleague, and you go, tell her the song's really good. I don't care what you say. Describe it. Be all fluffy with your words. But here's $20 for it. I need her to feel better. So you're sure they weren't plants? You're sure they weren't operatives? Not the Belgian government secretly spying on you, I hope.
No,
okay.
They're not spying.
Well, that's what they want us to think. But no, I mean, in all seriousness, it's good that you had that connection, even with people that you may not have met before, saying that they got something out of that song. And as you're saying, tell me what it feels like. It must be great as a songwriter.
Yeah, and it's like it's part of my journey. So it's not that it's not always happy times moving overseas. So it's nice that that's on the record, because it's part of who I am. I have struggled with mental health before. So it's very vulnerable, but I'm happy that it's on there because it's a part of who I am.
How did you, I know this is again sidetracking off the main topic, but speaking of that, how did you find, what was one of the best ways for you to cope during that really long lockdown last year that you could that really helped with your mental health?
Oh, songwriting. I feel like that. Yeah. I was practicing guitar a lot. I think I got a lot better at playing bar chords and trying out new tunings. Just having something to, just escape from reality, I guess.
Nice. I'm glad that, it's such a good thing. Unlike a lot of us who slacked off with their music last year, you pulled your finger out and really and just actually did something with it, which is awesome.
Oh, I'm also I haven't written anything during these lockdowns because I'm just oh, fuck.
It's a bit roller coaster, isn't it? So we're in lockdown, we're going down into lockdown, we're out, and then we're down again. Yeah. And I think I'm very much a songwriter that needs that external interaction. I need things in my life to, just keep me busy. Yeah, you need that that certainty, a little bit of certainty.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's cool. And best of luck. Hopefully we'll be out of lockdown sooner rather than later so we can actually see you play live.
Yeah, I would love that too.
But thank you so much for joining us on this. What is actually a relatively sunny afternoon, probably the sunniest day we've had here in the last month. But I'm going to let you go in a sec before you get too rained on.
All right.
Now,
it was nice speaking to you. And maybe see you after lockdown sometime.
Hopefully, yeah. I feel like it's a crime that I haven't actually randomly been to one of your shows yet, and but I'm going to fix that after this next lockdown.
All right.
And we'll buy Megan each a craft beer or go Harvey's depending on how expensive her tastes are.
Yes.
Or we can really fork out and buy one of them expensive Belgian beers.
Yeah, we can chip in and do a little import.
Yeah,
I'm happy for that.
Trappist quadruple. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I love that.
I'm actually more of a fan of Delirium.
Okay.
It's the pink elephant one.
Ooh, I don't think I've tried that one. Okay, well you're gonna have to introduce me to a few more Belgian beers.
Yes, I will.
But that's fine. There's many times. I'm sure there'll be plenty of opportunity for that, Romanie. But right now, thank you so much for coming on. It's been a lot of fun. Just talking a bit about your EP and how you went through it.
Thanks for having me.
Now we're going to play, as I said, one of the songs. Why don't you do us the goods, Romanie, and introduce the song and tell us who you are.
All right. Hi, I am Romanie, and this is my song, Stranger in My Skin.
Even after all these years, I still recognize your face. You haunt me in my dreams. I'm scared. We're blinking with our eyes, and time has slipped away. I'm homesick for the things I feel do not exist. I'm scared of facing mirrors, my reflections. And I don't wanna be exhausted anymore. I'm a stranger in my skin. I'm and who I have become, I'm not sure who I would be if I would be in your world still. We both went in separate ways, became our different selves, but I miss the old eyes. And I don't wanna be this person anymore. I'm scared of facing mirrors, my reflections. And I don't wanna be exhausted anymore. I'm a stranger in my skin. I don't wanna be this person anymore.
AustralianMusiciansRadio.com